This is Cannondale Habit, me and Cannondale e-bike, whatever it's called, that Peter is on in front of me. So when he outpaces me on the ups, you'll know why. Look at him. Look at him go. Whew. So one thing I will say about this habit is the linkage is not nearly as good as the VPP. It is much more floaty. The way I describe it is like being on an old Cadillac or an old Buick. Those American cars that just kind of floated down the highway. And hey, you may like that. If you do, this Cannondale Habit is for you. This is a pretty cool bike, but I like a sort of tauter, less floaty feeling. I like the feel of the VPP on the Santa Cruz Tallboy I just took out. Much better. This Habit has 130, the guy said. I assume that's rear. I don't know if it's 130 front or if it's 140 front. Just not sure. But 29er tires, I'd say probably 2.3s by the look of them. So 10 millimeters more than the Tallboy I was just on. But I would say it actually feels like kind of a little bit more playful than the Tallboy, if that makes any sense. And probably because it is that squishier suspension, you just kind of like bounce around stuff. But the Tallboy felt much more purposeful. All right, so let's pause here and see where we are. Ugh. Yeah, I would definitely say this bike does not take off like the Tallboy. This bike actually feels more like my Bronson than, which maybe means that it feels, because it's a 29er, my Bronson is a 27.5, maybe means it feels more like a Hightower. Don't know, I haven't ridden that one yet. I'm hoping to take that one out next. But it definitely is not comparable at all to the Tallboy. I will say I'm on an XL. I am 5'10". I usually am able to size up on the Santa Cruzes. For example, my Bronson is a XL. On this, I would not size up because the seat post is a little higher. I don't know about the standover. That doesn't seem as bad, but I definitely can't drop the seat as much. This feels more like the seat post height on my Bronson V2 as opposed to the V3. So on the Habit, I would say probably more want to stick to the size that they recommend, because I'm sure they recommend a large for me, maybe even a medium. I would feel too small on a medium, but I think a large would probably be perfect on this bike. I don't mind the reach and the seated position here in terms of the front center. It's just the seat is a bit high when I drop it all the way. So, decent bike. Climb's all right. And we'll get up here. There's a black trail we're heading to, so I can see what the descending on this thing is like. So I'll turn you guys back on when we get to the top. Okay. I'll bet the black is up here off the right. Go ahead. Go quickly. Damn e-bikers. Hey, Peter. Ooh. Woo. Hey, you know the difference between you and a cheetah is? Yeah. Nothing. That's right. Oh, hell. Look at this. Woo! This is me in Olympic shape. Whew. All right. Let's pause here, see if we can find that trail. All right, ready? This is blasphemy on the Cannondale habit. First time riding the trail, first time riding the bike. Yeah, this bike is like more old school, I feel. Jeez, you ride it like much more sort of ass hanging over the rear. Whereas those new Bronsons, you ride more center of the bike. Woo! Nothing like riding a trail for the first time on a new bike with leaves. Woo! Okay. That should not be categorized as a black trail. Oh, it's fun and all, but come on, man. It's barely a blue. I mean, I guess it's a blue. It's solidly a blue. It's definitely not black. But it was fun. Much more fun down. I say that was much more fun down than up. I think the up is over here.
Hey guys, Daddy-O here, back after the Cannondale Habit ride. So, a couple quick thoughts on the bike itself. It's a really fun bike. I would say for a relatively moderate travel 29er, um, it definitely is just a fun feeling, carefree trail bike. Doesn't sort of take itself too seriously. I just had actually a fair amount of fun on it. Had a lot of fun going down. The ups were sort of not the best. It's not. I don't think it pedals as well as a VPP up or a DW Link bike up. But you kind of don't care on it. You're just pedaling along, kind of having fun, even as you're going up the trail. And then when it comes time to come down, it definitely is makes you want to like play, pop as you come down the trail. Slide the back end around. It's I think I said this on the video on one of the downs. There was feels a little more old schoolish. A lot of these newer bikes, they're really long front centers. The head tube angles are quite slack. The wheels way out there, and you ride them more center of the bike. My Bronson V3, so that's the new model of the Bronson with a lower link, as a perfect example of that. You definitely ride that when you're cornering, more center of the bike. When you're climbing, you really ride more, you're naturally positioned more center of the bike because of the seat tube angle being steeper. And then you kind of lean down and forward a little bit when you're getting on really steep climbs. You still, obviously, when you're going down, are going to drop the seat and get your weight back, but you're not always hanging off the back so much like you used to do in the old days on some of the older model bikes. And the Habit still had that sort of older feel. Not older in a bad way, just had that sort of hang your ass off the back, slide it around, kind of play and jump around and pop off of every little thing you kind of come across, which I was pretty surprised because I find with 29ers, I don't tend to get that feeling as much. That's generally why I like 27.5 wheel bikes, because to me, they are the ones that give me that feel more. To me, 29ers, they tend to be more sort of like pedal bikes for me. I tend to stay more rooted on the ground with them. This one, not at all. In fact, what this bike felt a lot like was my V2 Bronson. It felt a lot like that bike. Just reminded me so much of it. At any rate, it's a cool bike. It's a fun bike. If you're looking for an uber serious bike, I don't know if maybe this is your best bet. You're looking for something to really be super efficient on the climbs. KOM some stuff. I don't know. This you probably would do better looking for something else. But if you're looking for something to get out on your local trails and kind of just have fun on and have a blast, feel pretty safe and secure on. I never really felt like I was going over the front end at all. Felt just natural. Just kind of get on it and go. This is good bike to check out. I would definitely check it out. I have to say I've not really liked a whole lot of Cannondales in these recent years, but this one changed my mind for sure. I liked this one quite a bit. So, at any rate, those are my thoughts on it. I hope you enjoyed the trail riding vids, and get out there, get something, and see you on the trails. See ya.